Well, good morning, friends. So, as predicted in the previous video, we are officially snowed in, iced in, stuck in. Whichever way you slice it, we're gonna be here for a while. At the moment, pretty much everything around us is closed down. All the surrounding schools, the kiddos' practices, church, you name it. It has all been brought to a screeching halt. While that may be the case outside of our house, I can assuredly tell you that inside it's definitely a different story. Okay, so let me show you what we've got finished thus far in the bathroom, and then I can kind of catch you up as to what we'll be working on today. So pardon the water running, we've got to make sure that the pipes don't freeze. But as you can see, we have got all of the posts installed and all the spackling, and most of the painting has been completed. We've got a few touch-ups, of course, the tile. So I shared it a little before, but one of the things that was really important to me when we redid this bathroom was that it would really look authentic and pay homage to the kind of history of what I'm trying to recreate. It was very important for me to create a plaster-like effect. I always feel like you can pretty much date a house by the texture on the walls. We have a pretty much brand new house and we have the texture of what a new build would have. So I wanted to make sure that it didn't just look like we were putting beams on the walls of a brand new house. Pretty much what we're doing, but so I ended up creating a mixture, almost a spackle-like material, and went over the entire walls and then ended up sanding away some of the spots so that I can create the look and feel as close to possible as what it would be if it were original. The tiles are handmade and have a very rustic feel to them. They were actually just left over from our last bathroom project, so I figured why not just use those. I know the fact that they're not finished may bug a lot of people, but I really like to show off the handmade quality of them, how unique each tile is, and how they're just made up of different materials, and leaving the edging raw to me really shows off that factor. So staying on the rustic line of things, I've got this sack. It was an old grain sack that families obviously used to use to put their grains in, among other things. If you were with us for our last bathroom renovation, you will know that we actually used an old grain sack for the skirting of a table that we turned into the vanity. I thought for this bathroom we would do something similar, so I created this kind of linen skirt from just a piece of regular material. Then when I started seeing the more rustic elements go in, I thought I really wanted to more so play off of that, and so I figured, why don't I go ahead and use something that has a little bit more history and a little bit more of the rugged feel of the beams and the handmade tile, and go ahead and switch the plans from using a regular piece of linen to using a really old piece of fabric that to me will ultimately end up tying our theme even more so together.
You came out of nowhere like a bullet train. You were so familiar, but you're not the same as all the other drifters who have lost their way. You remind me of a love that never changes. Now's the time.
If you don't mind, we are going to have to take a quick little break. If you were to ask me, owning farm animals happens to be the hardest when it's the winter time. None of us like those type of chores. And so what we do is we switch off from person to person who gets to take out water that is unfrozen to them. Unfortunately, it's my turn this time, and I figured since you're here, I might as well take you along with me. So it is obviously the next day. We didn't quite get around to remaking the skirting for the vanity. However, we are back on the saddle again, and I was actually just sitting down to kind of take a look at preparing the sack for sewing. And I brought my seam ripper to it as one would. And then I realized I thought that just the edges were reinforced with some kind of hemp by hand. And it turns out the entire thing was reinforced. So I'm trying to contemplate whether or not I want to just go ahead and cut it and waste that tiny bit of fabric, or if it's actually worth spending the hours that it will take to unwrap this thing. So, yeah. Okay, managed to get her all taken apart. I don't know if you can see it. It really wasn't near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Once I figured out how it was actually sewn together, it went by pretty quickly. I just knew I wanted to save as much as humanly possible because it's just such an insanely beautiful piece of craftsmanship, especially considering it was used for such a utilitarian purpose. I feel a little bittersweet towards pieces like this because it makes me think how far we've actually come from making things the way that they used to be. But I don't know, maybe I can play a very minuscule part in bringing some of those pieces back to life.
Turned into gold. Just wanna hear your voice telling me something I don't know. Minutes turn to hours, the night feels like it's ours. We fall asleep, your breath feels like I'm right there next to you. Next to you. Finally plant my feet somewhere, we'll make some place our own. Ringing in my ears, voices that I hear, they all disappear when I'm right here next to you. Next to you.
You can see all the tracks. Ooh. So last night, got all the curtain completed. It's a lot shorter than our original one. We had a lot less fabric to work with. I kind of had to work within the constraints of the bag, obviously, but I think in the end, I am going to be much happier with this choice. So anyway, now that we've got this made, it's officially time to get it installed. So while I was kind of on the hunt for Valentine's-ish things, I came across this stunning antique painting. So cool. And I thought the colors were just absolutely gorgeous. It's one thing to find one that is in good condition. It's another thing to find one this large. So I was super excited upon finding it, and I knew exactly where we'd put it. That in just a second. To pair with it, I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely in love with any type of tapestry. And this is actually an original drawing of a tapestry mock-up before it was actually made. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. I am a huge proponent of just having some sort of neutral frame with a piece of either linen or even a piece of cotton paper behind it. That way, no matter what the color is, it will fit with any piece of artwork, as well as no matter the size, of course, as long as it is small enough.
was nothing I could do. Well, I got no worries now. looking back, there's so much to look forward to. And baby,
So Blake has half of the crew outside playing in the snow. The other half of us are staying warm inside. I figured while they're outside, by the time they come in, we could have a dessert ready for them to snack on. Now, I know I have made this particular recipe at least 2.3 million times on the channel. However, this time around, since it is close to Valentine's Day, I figured I would make it in a heart-shaped pan, and maybe, just possibly, that will constitute a new dessert. If you haven't guessed it yet, we are going to be making shortbread, and this is the sweet little pan we will be cooking them in. So normally I would double this recipe because it makes a pretty small batch, but after they play outside, Lola is actually wanting to come back in and make her own recipe. So we will have plenty of sweets to keep us satiated in this winter storm. Januaries, we normally try to do sort of a Daniel fast type diet. However, this year it hasn't quite worked out that way. I don't know, maybe we'll give February a go. All I can say is January, we have completely failed at the endeavor this year.
and baby, we don't need too much. I'm hoping you won't let go, 'cause I need you so, and that's for sure. My heart is all yours. My heart is all yours.
Don't tell them, but I have already eaten almost half the batter. And I have also really attempted to grease up this pan as much as possible, just to ensure I make it extra pretty for y'all.
Well, there's times when I get so down, but you always lift me up. And there's times when my poor heart aches, but you always fill my cup. And baby, we don't need too much. I'm hoping you won't let go, 'cause I need you so, and that's for sure. My heart is all yours. My heart is all yours. My heart is all yours. My heart.
Why don't I show you a recap of kind of what we finished? Yes, baby. Very we are going to be making shortbread. Shortbread. What happened?